Hey guys and gals, I hope you guys are having a good day, wherever you're at, wherever you may be. So I've had the WRX here for a little less than 2 months. It'll be 2 months and about 10 days. Hopefully you can hear me over the wind, but anyway, figure I'd give you a little update on how things are going, what I like and don't like about it, things of that nature. So yeah, I'll be honest, just to kind of start off this deal financially, I'm not going to go into exact numbers because I really don't feel like that's anybody's business. But I'll just admit that even though normally I'm pretty good about paying attention to when dealers are trying to hoodwink me, let's just say I did get hoodwinked on this car. Between taxes and all the dealer add-on BS, I'm upside down on this thing. So, short of something happening to this thing, I'm going to be stuck with it for a while. Anyway, and that's not even the half of it. I've already had to put about $1,500 into this dang thing. So, I'll go ahead and hop in the car and tell you how that happened. And that was pretty much all within the first month, too. It's a little dirty. My my vacuum, as expensive as it was when I got it, probably about 1.5 years ago, leaves a lot to be desired these days. Anywho, so when I first got the car, a couple of years, back in mid-February, when I first got the car, it had the traction control light, and it had another light over here for the hill assist that was constantly on. And this is a base WRX. I don't think it has hill assist. I'm not sure, but it doesn't feel like it anyway. Or hill start assist, whatever you guys want to call that. So those two lights were on when I first got the car. I asked the dealership about it. They said they tried to plug in and scan for codes and stuff. They couldn't find anything. They blamed it on the aftermarket tune. I still have my access port. It just lives over here in my glove box. I just don't like to leave it out because I worry about someone wanting to steal the car if they see it. Anywho, so yeah. So, the dealership basically said, yeah, we couldn't really read it. We think the lights are on because of your aftermarket equipment and stuff. Which I could tell they were kind of blowing smoke up my ass. And they were trying to say, well, we haven't had the car very long. And we were just trying to get it out on the lot. Flags that I should have seen, but just for whatever reason didn't. So, I took it to Subaru. Well, at first I did some research, and the two lights, from what I was telling online, or from what I was reading online, the two lights should be on just because of a bad brake light switch, or a bad stoplight switch. $30 part if you get it from Subaru, and probably a 10-minute job to swap out. Kind of a pain in the butt, because I've got larger hands, and it's kind of a tight space underneath the steering column, and underneath the dash and everything else. So, but, I swapped it out, lights are still on, took it to Subaru, they did their thing with it. $1,100 later, it needed a steering angle sensor, a roll pin connector down in the steering column, and I guess some work on the wiring harness down in there. They got the lights to go away, so there's that. But then, a few weeks out, probably about a week or two after that, and ever since I had the car, when I first got the car, the power steering was intermittent at best. It was there and it wasn't there. Like, I'd have it at some points, and then it'd be really, really stiff. And then about, a week after I got the lights fixed, I guess the power steering pump completely gave out. So I had to replace that. I think that buzzes the fuel pump. I should probably go ahead and go turn the car back off. But, so yeah, I had to spend about, I had to buy some tools because a lot of my old tools got stolen over the years just because of neighborhoods I've lived in and stuff like that. So I had to buy some tools and replace the power steering pump. So that was a fun chore. But I don't have power steering problems anymore on the car. And at least, you know, mechanical-wise and drivability-wise, I haven't had any problems since then, I'm happy to say. It's still relatively enjoyable to drive. You know, it's still quick, in my opinion. I mean, probably one of the quicker cars I've owned. You guys gotta remember, I come from driving bigger trucks and stuff like that. But, quick side note, though. When this thing lost its power steering, it amazed me. For this being a car, it amazes me how difficult this thing can be to steer. Because, like, I had a 98 Dodge Neon years and years ago. I think it was, like, back in 2013. Little car. I can't remember if it didn't come with power steering at all, or if it had power steering, it just wasn't working. But it never bothered me. I mean, I could still drive the car just fine. This thing's a pain in the butt when the power steering goes. And I don't know if it's because, you know, my wheels might be a little bit bigger or what the story is, but this thing's a pain in the butt when there's no power steering. But, like I said, it's still a quick little car. It can be fun to drive. I just think, you know, with the financial situation that I'm in with this car, you know, as far upside down as it is, that I'm in, you know, as far upside down that I am on it, and just the issues and the money that I had to put into it when I first got it, it's just left a sour taste in my mouth, that's for sure. But, well, let's see, what do I like about the car? 5 things I like about the car. It is fun to drive. I mean, the stick shift really does make it a little more enjoyable to drive. So, I mean, I don't get on it all the time just because I just don't. This thing sucks down gas, but I'll get to that in my dislikes. But, I mean, when you do get on it, it can be kind of a blast when you hear it spooling up and, you know, when you can get it to throw you back in your seat a little bit. It can be fun to drive. The handling on it's pretty good, too. I mean, I'm not, like, whipping this thing into curves and, like, you know, trying to do, like, 10-block drifts. But, you know, I do appreciate how well it handles. And even in the snow, I feel pretty confident with it in the snow, too. Even as low as it sits. To me, once you get inside the car, it's pretty comfortable. I mean, I like how the seats hug you. And, you know, how you kind of just feel planted in the car when you're driving it. What else do I like about this thing? Ease of use when it comes to the radio for, like, the Android Auto on this thing works pretty well. There's a couple of things that do annoy me about it, but they're just little iffy things. But, I mean, it connects well. It does pretty well, I think. It's probably one of the more easiest, enjoyable experiences I've had, like, when it comes to linking a phone to the car radio. Things of that nature. What else can I tell you guys about this thing that I actually like? The radio's good, it drives good, it handles good. I even kind of like the styling. You know, just the way it looks. Don't mind the Sharpie. My son felt like he could be an artist. I even kind of like the fin. I mean, well, I like the fin and I don't like the fin. I kind of like the fin because it just kind of sets it apart from the other WRX wagons. But I kind of don't like it because of that. Like, I don't feel like it's about to fly off or anything, but it is kind of loose on there. So once in a while, I feel like I can hear it kind of rattling, especially like if I'm hitting bumps. I'm not sure if I can tighten it down or anything like that. But yeah. So, now I'm going to get into things I don't really like about this thing. Not a fan of the headlights. I can tell these are cheapo eBays. The daytime running light, like the clear halo on this side is out. So on this side, all I did is the projector beam. The turn signal part of it still works, I guess. The fog lights are pretty good. I just wish that they were white, not yellow, but the fog lights are pretty good. I don't like, I hope you guys can hear me with this wing. I don't really care for the fact that it's been lowered. I really do wish it was stock ride height or maybe even slightly lifted. Again, you guys got to remember, I'm a truck guy, but I don't know if I'd really want to lift this thing up above stock height, because my understanding is it does completely throw off its handling if you lift these WRXs. What else do I not like? I am not the biggest fan of the exhaust. To me, it just sounds too much like a Honda. And to me, it just doesn't look right. I kind of appreciate the quad tips a little more than I appreciate the single fart can out the back. I mean, at least it doesn't have an annoying drone, but I do much prefer, I call it the Subaru rumble. One of my coworkers has a WRX of the same year, just his is a sedan, and he's got, you know, the quad tips, but his exhaust is aftermarket as well, but it just sounds better, in my opinion. What else can I tell you that I don't like about this thing, or that I don't care about this thing? I am kind of disappointed in the fuel economy on this car. I get about, I don't know, it really depends on the day. I feel like I get about 15, 18 in this thing. And I'm not even hammering it all the time. I mean, once in a while, yeah, it's fun to get on it, gas it, that kind of thing. But, you know, like I said, for the most part, I just try and drive it as conservatively as I can. And it's just, the fuel economy ain't that great. It's, like I said, mid to high teens. Once in a while, I guess I'll flirt with 20, but I have to be doing a lot of highway driving to do that. But yeah, I think those are, off the top of my head, those are my love-hates with this car. I'll give her a quick start-up. Since it's just me, I'm not really going to take it on the drive, just because it's a pain in the butt to hold the phone and drive this thing safely and properly. So, here we go. It's kind of loud and annoying when it first starts, but once it settles down, it gets a little better. Get the door shut here. But I think I'm going to close it out from here. I didn't want to make this thing too long, but I figured I'd give you guys almost 2-month update on the car, how I feel about it, what I like and don't like about it. Feel free to drop your comments below, and thanks for watching.